What is forgiveness? It is something that we all need at some point in our lives, because at some point we're always going to falter and do some things that we probably would not want to do, and need somebody to come and talk to us, give us some reassurance, but also allow us to come back and integrate ourselves back into whatever situation or society or organization we were in that the harm was caused. The thing about forgiveness is that people think that when you forgive them, or when you bring the forgiveness, that means you have forgotten the wrong. But that's not really what is supposed to occur. There should be something that's happening on both sides. One, the person or persons must have a responsibility for their own actions. And also, as a community or an organization, whatever it is that may be happening, there should be some sort of accountability that allows whatever may have occurred to be corrected or remedied in some way. Of course, that is the reason why we have a justice system, that when wrongs are done in society, that they are shifted and moved back to some sort of mercy and justice. But why should we forgive? One of the first reasons we should consider is that we will all sin. Romans 3:23 says this, that for all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. And if you really think about it, the very nature of our lives is that because we were born inherently with the abilities to fall short, falter, sin, we have a tendency to always hurt others. We have a tendency, because we are imperfect, to cause strife or problems in the atmosphere. We all do. So if other persons are able to do that to us, we are also able to do it to others. Jesus said in Matthew chapter 7 this, that judge not that you be not judged. For with what judgment you judge, you shall be judged, and with what measure you meet, it shall be measured to you again. And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thine own eye? Or how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote out of thine eye, and behold, a beam is in thine own eye? Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of thine own eye, and then thou shalt see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye. A famous speaker once said somewhere that if we don't forgive and we follow some of the Old Testament laws that say an eye for an eye and a tooth for the tooth, then we would go around and the whole world would be blind, because we'll be unforgiving of each other and just blinding each other because we're taking an eye for an eye. Why should we forgive? Because it also frees us from strife and bitterness. Many of the times, the things that we, go around and worry about or become unforgiving of are sometimes very petty. In fact, once it doesn't reach the stage of some of the things that go through the court system and so, many times you can actually sit down and figure it out amongst ourselves as brothers and sisters. Let go some of the strife and the ill feelings and the bad bitter parts of us by simply letting some things go and learning to forgive. How many times should we forgive? In Matthew chapter 18, Jesus actually tells us that we should do it 70 times 7. You know, Peter came to him and said this, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me and I forgive him? Till 7 times? And Jesus' response was this, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 70 times 7. That is what, almost 500 times, 490 times every day. or up to whatever time it is that you need to forgive somebody. Jesus' steady state, I guess you could say, is one of forgiveness, love, and mercy. He is very long suffering and patient. He himself said that he still brings the rain on both the just and the unjust. He still allows the world and the things around it to move and do the things that it does. And for us to live and for life to continue, even though we are very evil, a bitter, suffered, sinful world. So if it is that the Lord of the earth, who also died on your behalf and showed you the greatest love, can forgive you, then please try to forgive others as best as you can. This is the first part of a three-part series about forgiveness. Check out the next one next week, where we talk a little bit more on this topic. And of course, if you have any questions, please put it in the comments. And you can also check out my website at johnnyalcock.com for other things in relation to uh, the gospel, truth, Christ, the meaning of salvation, things like that, and articles and videos and all sorts of things all over my social media. Please do find something every day to remind you of how imperfect you yourself also are, so that when things come up, you find a way to consolidate, to love your brother and sister despite whatever may have occurred. Blessings and love.